What's up, gamers? How you doing? In this video, I'll be taking a closer look at Okinawa Rush for the Switch. It's a fairly new game for the Switch. Obviously came out in physical form. I have it in my hand. This is the PAL version, so the artwork is different than the North American version. You can get, this is published by Pixel Heart. It's available on their website. They will ship worldwide. Also available on Video Games New York, which you can get the North American version, different artwork, of course, for the box art. Both are really cool. It comes with a certificate of authenticity. Limited to 20,000 copies, which is actually quite a bit for an independent game. I'm actually really amazed that they're making that many, which is cool. But it is a really fun game. Best way to explain the gameplay would be like take a great action platformer, add some fighting elements like Street Fighter 2, for example. There's 3 different characters you can play from. Each has its own unique fighting ability. Really fun pixel art as well. You'll see in the game here shortly. Best way to explain it would be like, kind of looks like you're playing feels like you're playing a Super Nintendo game, right? Really fun. So without any further ado, let's take a closer look. Thanks for watching. This game is developed by Sokokian Games, and there's 2 modes. There's an arcade mode, which gets you right into the action. There's also story mode, which gives you a little bit more story background. 3 different characters to choose from. What I found kind of interesting is you can't choose your character on story mode, but you can on arcade mode, at least from what I can see. But story mode definitely obviously gives you a prologue. There's 5 different stages in the game as well. So we'll start with story mode. And what's really cool, there's different options, of course, in settings. You can turn on blood. There's quite a bit of blood in this game. You can change the languages, plenty of different languages, and you can change to CRT mode, which will add scan lines, as you're seeing here. But makes it look like it's a played old school CRT, which I prefer, which is awesome, and probably the way that the game should be played. So we'll start this game. This is the dojo prologue, of course, and kind of shows you different controls. Rather than just a general attack and jump, there's different attack moves, just like you'd have in your typical fighting game, like Street Fighter 2, etc. You get those type of moves. And each character, there's 2 males and a female in the game. Each character has their own abilities. So one is more strong than the other, one has more endurance, etc. So this is kind of shows you different moves, down and attack, and things like that. Now, the one thing that was kind of confusing, this has been ported to a bunch of different platforms. Obviously, Switch. It's been on Steam, PS4, Xbox, and it kind of shows you kind of general color buttons, but doesn't really tell you A, B, or X, Y, things like that. Also, jumping in this game can be a little tricky at times, but other than that, the graphics are really fun. I really enjoy the story mode. This particular part of the game reminds me of Kung Fu for the NES classic Kung Fu, but you guys get the idea. Let's jump right into the action. A lot of blood, I got that turned on, and several weapons at the game. Hit down to collect the weapon. Once you have a weapon, it makes things so much easier, believe me. But the weapons do only last temporarily, unfortunately. Various different combos you can get, and there's 3 different characters in the game you can play as. So this guy, for example, and they each all have their own unique story. This guy, for example, his wife was murdered, kids were taken, so he's out for vengeance. The other guy, brother's sick, he's supposed to find an antidote for him. The gals are more confusing, either her husband or her brother or dad. It turned into some kind of crazy guy, and she fell off a boat, and she started to find him or help him, whatever. So, but I do like the fact there's some replayability there, and each character has its own attributes and like strengths and agility, etc. Right? What's important is trying to unlock and save people. Once you get the people who are wrapped up, you get gems and you get various coins, for example. And when you do that, why that's important, because there's shops later on where you can purchase various upgrades, which is important, comes into play. So I feel there's quite a bit of replayability. I think graphically the game looks great. Controls are okay. As I mentioned before, the jumping kind of get kind of wonky at times when you go jump up and down. You can do it super quick, and it's a little harder to control. But I feel like I love the input commands. I think really is more than just your standard platformer. It's kind of unique in that sense. Here's another part of the game. Get 5,000 gems there. That's huge. There's a save point, which is helpful for sure. And I got a 1 up there. Now there are save points, but you gotta be careful. You only have 3 lives in the game, which makes it a little more challenging. This game is hard. Various difficulties. Here's one of the bosses, and the difficulties are set. I think is really cool because it's set to like belt color. So black belt being the most difficult. There's like 10 different difficulty settings, which is awesome, which is great. Okay, so if you feel like this one's too hard, go back and change the difficulty setting. This guy is pretty powerful, so you gotta watch out. My health is in top left corner. Rockman. Oh, so he got me. So you gotta make sure you're not in front of him. And once I lose all my lives, I gotta start over this particular stage, so I definitely don't want to do that. Up siege, get me again. So it's very hard. And this is on like a medium setting, so I gotta continue. Yes. got a certain amount of credits as well. So it goes kind of back to the arcade feel. Even in story mode, you kind of have that arcade feel there as well. Fortunately, you start back at the checkpoint, so that's definitely helpful. I like how you can throw your enemies into other enemies, and there's a lot of different attacks you can do. Let's see if I can get this guy. I think I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but it definitely reminds me of what a game you'd find on the Super Nintendo, or potentially the Genesis as well, or Mega Drive. Key is just jump on the other side of this guy. Make sure you jump before he attacks you. I like that it shows his health as well, the enemy health. There you go, got him. Nice. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll put a link to both Pixel Heart as well as Video Games New York and where you can pick this up. There's an affiliate link as well on Video Games New York. If you end up getting this game or another game from that site, use that affiliate link. That does help this channel. I do appreciate that. It's up to you guys, though. Appreciate you guys watching the video. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks for leaving comments, subscribing, and take care. And, of course, game on.